Yo guys, welcome to the Zelda fiction. Today we are gonna see, what if Naruto awakened the 3 dormant bloodlines? Part 1. Huge shout out to Miggy the One for this story. If you end up liking this video, please consider subscribe, so without further ado, let's get into the video. A 6-year-old Uzumaki Naruto was running for his life. He was currently running from a mob of crazed villagers. It was the Kyubi festival, the holiday for when the 4th Hokage, Namikaze Minato, defeated the 9-tailed demon fox 6 years ago. Naruto had a white and red fox mask on, running for his life. His red hair matched perfectly with the red markings on the mask, and his azure eyes contrasted with the red of his hair on the mask. The villagers had knives out ready to kill the so-called demon that had plagued the leaf for the past 6 years. "Die demon!" one yelled. No, the young Uzumaki yelled in his mind. Naruto turned on an alley, hoping he would be able to climb the pipe he would usually find on the side of the building to get to his crusty and run-down apartment. Unfortunately, Kami wasn't on his side this night, and he guessed that tonight would be the night they would catch him. Across the street, a young 6-year-old lavender-eyed girl watched as he ran into the alley, concerned for his safety as she saw the mob follow him into the darkness in the alley. As Naruto saw the wall that blocked his path to freedom, he turned around and his eyes widened. There had to be at least 20 of them. Worst of all, he could see shinobi among the crowd. Those people were the ones who were supposed to protect the people of the village. Those people should be protecting him from the ignorant civilians in front of him. "This is for my brother, demon," one of the Chunin yelled. Naruto didn't even have time to scream before he passed out. As Naruto opened his eyes, he saw that he was in a damn corridor. "Hello?" the 6-year-old asked no one in particular. "It," said a deep yet calm voice, "follow my voice." Naruto listened to where the voice was coming from and saw a light in one end of the corridor. He followed the voice and went towards the light at the end of the corridor. As he got out of the light, he realized he was in a giant sewer. He looked to the other end and saw a giant cage about the size of the Hokage mountain. "Kid, look up," a chuckling voice said. As Naruto looked up, he saw a toothy smile and a pair of red slitted eyes. As the figure came closer, Naruto could make out the shape of a giant 9-tailed fox. "Aruth the Kyubi," exclaimed Naruto. "Nah kid, I'm the Easter Bunny." "Of course I'm Kyubi," the obviously annoyed fox said. "Sorry," said the Retid solemnly. Naruto then realized the extent of where he was and what he was in front of. "Wait, where am I and how are you here? Yondaime killed you." "Well, first off, we're in the seal on your gut," a soft voice said behind Naruto. As Naruto heard the voice, he turned around and felt a gentle hand ruffle his head. He looked and saw the same azure eyes that he had and the same spiky hair that he had, but this man's was gold. "Yondaime?" Naruto asked. "What? Don't even know the name of your old man?" the deceased Hokage asked. "It's Namikaze Minato kid." Naruto's eyes widened and they started tearing up. "Dad." Naruto hugged Minato and cried into his shirt. Minato hugged the crying boy with a smile on his face. "Naruto, we need to talk. It's about your heritage and your bloodlines you've inherited." "The bloodlines? I have those." "What, you think your mom was just a civilian?" "I have a dormant Kakashi as well." "Of course that means I wasn't able to activate it." "But you already have. And you've activated the dormant bloodlines on your mother's side as well." "What do you mean I've activated my bloodlines?" "I don't feel any different, although I do feel a little heavier," Naruto replied. "That's the first of 3 that you will activate." "What is it?" "It is a bloodline that some Uzumaki shared with a clan in Kurigakure known as Shikatsumaku. You are able to use your bones as weapons, and many of those who used it in the Uzumaki clan were as good at Kenjutsu as their clansmen who never activated the Kakashi. Wow. Do you think I can get that good, Dad?" "Well, it is in your blood." "And what about the other 2? "Well, the second also comes from the Uzumaki as well. It amplifies your chakra nature to its highest ability. I believe yours is wind and fire. Wind coming from me, and fire, your mother the Red Death. She didn't activate either Kakashi, but she did have special chakra that she could make chains out of. Your wind chakra will be as strong as a tornado, and your fire will be as hot as the sun, so it will be black just like the Amaterasu of the Uchiha clan." "Wow. I didn't know I was so cool," said Naruto. "So what's the third one?" "Your third bloodline comes from your great-grandmother. She belonged to a clan from the Warring States period. It has remained dormant until now, when you were able to activate it." "That's cool, but what is it?" "Look down." As Naruto looked down into the water of the sewer below, his eyes widened. The sclera of his eyes were blood red, his irises were black, and his pupils were a purple-red shape like a rectangle. "What is this?" "That, Naruto, is the Dojutsu of the China clan, the Kitsurigan." "So Bachin was a part of this clan?" "Yes, Naruto, she was." "Wow, I need to start studying this stuff." "Don't worry, you'll study the basic clans and bloodlines during the academy. Anyways, Naruto, my time is running short and I'll be leaving soon. No, I just met you, you can't leave already. I'm sorry son, but I only put a fraction of my chakra in here in case of a last resort and I needed to talk to you. I have a last request for you Kyubi. Please take care of my son and look after him. As Minato said this, he removed the seal from the Kyubi's cage and a wave of red chakra came out. Of course Yondaime, anything for Kushina's kid. Said the Kyubi. How can I trust you? You attacked Konoha. You're the reason I get attacked. Naruto, listen to me. When the Kyubi attacked Konoha, he was being controlled by the Sharingan. I need you to trust him, please. Alright dad, Naruto said. Very well, goodbye my son, Minato said as Naruto blacked out and went back to the real world. As Naruto came back, he started feeling the pain of the stabs and the punching of villagers. While he was being swarmed, the villagers on top of him would meet their fate and were stabbed by bones that came out of his back. Those who were still alive were met with the eyes of the Chinakana dragon, made of the pool of blood that Naruto had created. Blood Dragon Ascension. Naruto yelled. Those who were hit were either smashed into the wall or knocked out by the wave of the thick liquid hitting them. As Naruto's eyes changed back to the sad azure ones from before, he realized what he had done and started weeping. He started to hear soft footsteps coming towards him, the person had to be no older than him. He looked up and saw what must have been an angel. It was a girl, about his age with short dark blue hair, pale skin, and lavender eyes. He couldn't stop the blush that crept onto his face. When the girl saw him her eyes widened and she ran back towards the festival. Naruto looked down. It was always the same. A curious kid would come and see what happened and run away when they saw a bloodied up kid. Naruto's eyes widened as he heard the same footsteps coming towards him, however this time it was more frantic. The same girl came running towards him with a jug of water and a wooden box. She helped him drink the water and the same blush reappeared on his face. Lady Hinata. A voice called. The now named Hinata looked back as she finished helping Naruto with the water and put the wooden box down next to him. She got up and with a bow went back to where she was called. Naruto was astonished. Nobody had ever helped him, let alone a kid. He knew as soon as he heard her name that she was of Konoha royalty. He remembered a big clan in Konoha with lavender eyes and a Dojutsu like him. Right then he had a new goal along with becoming Hokage, he would protect his girl from the shadows and protect her from anyone who wanted to hurt her. 6 months later. Over the next few months after Naruto met Yondaime and the attack he started to study seals and work on his kenjutsu, since they don't go over more complicated subjects until the last year of the academy. He was able to get scrolls on seals and kenjutsu and was able to complete a low-level storage seal and a low-level explosive note. When practicing kenjutsu he would use wooden swords because if people saw the demon brat swinging around bone swords, some people may jump to the conclusion. He studied his father's seals and his mother's kenjutsu style when he was able to get the keys to their estate. Flashback. Naruto had just been picked up by the Anbu and was currently sitting in the Hokage office with the third Hokage. Naruto, how are you feeling? I'm okay Jiji. I just feel betrayed since some of them were shinobi and they should be protecting me, not trying to kill me. Don't worry Naruto, the Anbu have already detained the shinobi and civilians who did this to you. Thanks Jiji, but I want to talk to you about something personal, so can you send the Anbu out? If Sarutobi was surprised he didn't show it but just made a motion with his hand and the Anbu left. Thanks Jiji, now, Naruto said as he walked up to the picture of the Yondaime, got anything to say? Sarutobi was gobsmacked, how? Well, when those civilians attacked me I blacked out and woke up in the Kyubi seal where I met Dad and the Kyubi. He told me that I unlocked 3 of the dormant bloodlines in my family. Oh and he told me that Kyubi wasn't responsible for the attack and was being controlled by the Sharingan. Are you sure we can trust it? Well first of all Kyubi's a Hinata in it and second I would say yes since the seal is open and he hasn't taken control. It's safe to say that once Sarutobi heard that the seal was open he fainted. And he says he's not old. Naruto said with a sweat dropped. It took 10 minutes for the old man to wake up from his state of shock. Jiji at this rate you'll be handing the hat over to me in no time. I still have a few years left in me. And I'm glad that you're still dreaming about that. Huh, what do you mean? Why wouldn't that be my dream? Naruto asked. Well because of your attack today. Don't worry Jiji, my dream is still strong, along with another goal. He said with a slight blush on his cheek. Mind telling me? Hiruzen asked. Bodyguarding, Naruto said mysteriously, anyways, I'm sure the professor will figure it out. I'm sure I will, the third responded. Anyways, you think maybe I can get the keys to mom and dad's house, cause I kinda want to start knowing how to use my Kekkei Genkai and the other parts of my heritage? Naruto asked. Hiruzen contemplated that for a minute. On one hand, people could find out about Naruto's parents and they could come after him, and on another hand, it could help him if he started studying early so he could protect himself. "Very well, but make sure nobody sees you," said the old Hokage. "Thanks, Gigi." Flashback end. It had been a good idea for Sarutobi to give Naruto his parents' estate. It had its own training ground, library, and hot springs. Naruto, after all his training, was now able to evade the mobs if they were getting gathered. That's not to say all was well. They might not have attacked him, but they didn't completely ignore the young Retit either. They threw trash at him, glared at him, and whispered behind his back. That's what hurt the most, not being accepted. "Damn it, Caillou. Stop healing me. Please." Naruto cried. "Shudagaki, I won't have you cutting yourself and letting you feel the pain," yelled back the fox. Naruto had taken to harming himself just to let all the anger and sadness out of his system. "Please, let me feel the pain. I just need to let it out," said Naruto. Listen to me," said the fox, "I know it's hard, trust me, believe it or not, but I've felt all the emotions you are feeling before. And trust me, this isn't the way. I'll think about it." "That's all you need to do, kid," said the Kyubi. "I'm going out." 1 hour later. Naruto had made it to the nicer part of town and was passing by many of the clan compounds. When he made it to the Hyuga compound, he began to pick up negative emotion. That was one of the powers he got when he and the Kyubi merged. He also got a higher sense and sight on par if not better than an Inuzuka's, and his iris now had the cat-like slick, with his pupils still being the azure from his dad. As he pinpointed where he found the negative emotion, he saw a man dressed in black with a sack on his back running away from the compound. He identified the chakra signature as Hinata, the girl who had helped him on his birthday. His eyes widened and he went after the man. The kidnapper sensed Naruto's chakra and turns around to see a Retit no older than 7, glaring at him with malice in his eyes. "Go home, kid, and I'll leave you alive," the man said. It was then when he realized the color of his hair. "So, you're in Uzumaki, eh? I guess the boss will want you as well." He saw the boy make hand signs for a jutsu. "Pain. Kakakyu no jutsu." The man's lone eye widened as a black fireball came towards him with immense speed. He moved out of the way just in time to dodge the raging blue ball. "What the hell is that?" he thought. He dropped that sack that Hinata was in and decided to fight. "Fine kid, wanna fight, let's fight." "Raiden. Sateki Suji no Jutsu." Lightning came out of the kidnapper's fingers and hit Naruto in the chest. He watched as the boy fell to the ground after getting 10 lightning bolts to the heart. "Sure, they're small, but that'll put anyone into cardiac arrest." "Sorry Gaki, but that's why you don't mess with Jounin," the nin thought. As he looked down onto the boy's face, his face turned into one of fear as he saw 2 slitted red eyes open and a killing intent so powerful you could feel it. Takumo and back focused on him. He didn't have time to think as a clawed hand scratched his face first and then slit his throat. After the man was dead, the killing intent was gone as sudden as it came. Naruto walked over to the sack with Hinata. He untied the rope and saw the face of the angel that had saved him from possible insanity. She was unconscious, probably from the high killing intent. He heard several pairs of frantic footsteps come his way and he went to hide in the nearby trees. He was able to make out the conversation that came out. "Hiashi-sama. Who do you think did this?" asked a branch member. "I'm not sure, but it seems that whoever did this was a monster," Hiashi replied. "Now get my disappointment of a daughter back to the compound." Naruto clenched his fists. Was she supposed to fight and win against a Jounin? He may have done it, but that was only due to the Kyubi and the element of surprise that he had won. How could he expect so much from her, especially at her age? You can't call someone a disappointment when you did nothing to help her. And he was sure he would take all the credit. It doesn't matter right now, at least she's safe. 2 years later. It was the first day of the academy. It was the middle of December and Konoha was getting a lot of snow. Naruto had on blue pants, a tan and red hoodie on with a red scarf. He was on his way towards the academy when he ran into something that made his mood turn upside down. Look at eyes. She must be one of those Hyuga. Yeah, I bet she is. Hey, I bet she's just like that Nichi kid. You think you're better than us, don't you? No, it's not like that. You're right. Get her og. Leave her alone. Yelled Naruto. Hey. You're that kid that my mom tells me to stay away from you. She says you're dangerous, but you're just a punk. The 3 boys started to fight with Naruto while Hinata stood on the side feeling helpless. She saw that one of the boys was open and she snuck up behind him and pressed a tenketsu on the back of his neck, knocking him out. The other 2 boys got distracted by this and Naruto punched one in the temple, knocking him out. The other one saw that he was outnumbered and carried away his friends. Once he left, Naruto fell onto his back, exhausted and bruised. Hinata saw his torn up scarf and handed over the scarf. Here. Nah, it's okay, keep it. Hinata-sama. Yelled a voice. I need to get going, Hinata said. Alright, see you later, said Naruto. As she left she took a small wooden box for Naruto and bowed. Naruto gave a gentle smile and looked down at the same box that she had left him those 2.5 years ago. Academy. Since Naruto had to clean up after the fight, he was the last one into class, already adding to his idiot persona. Yes, he had chosen to be the class clown for his own benefit. If people knew how truly smart the demon brat is, a lot of attention would be on him, attention his idiot persona wouldn't want. Sorry I'm late sensei. Said Naruto as he took off his jacket, showing everyone the kill me orange long sleeve shirt he had underneath. It's alright, we were just about to take attendance, take a seat. Naruto took a window seat in the top right of the classroom. Alright class. We are about to take attendance. I want you to tell me something about yourself, your likes, your dislikes, and your dreams for the future. Sensei. Can you give us an example? Said a pink-haired girl with a big forehead. Yep, that'll be my crush. Thought Naruto. Geez kid, you choose the worst fake crushes, said the Kyubi. That's the point, dumb fox. Very well, class, my name is Umino Ruka, I like teaching, training, and Konoha. I dislike loud classes, murderers, and traitors, dreams for the future. I guess to make you all into amazing shinobi, said Iruka. Alright, there's your example. Now, to attendance. Aburami Shino. The tall boy with glasses, big hair, and in a trench coat stood up. Aburami Shino. I like bugs. I dislike anyone who mistreats bugs. My dream is to be a good clan head, said Shino. Akamichi Choji. The big boned boy in a green jacket, blue pants, and swirls on his cheeks stood up. Hi Munch, my name is Akamichi Choji. I like munch food, my friends, and my family munch. I dislike people who call me fat, Choji said with sudden seriousness. And my dream is to be a good clan and make my family proud. Good. Haruno Sakura. The same pink-haired girl in a red dress stood up. Hi. I'm Haruno Sakura, I like my family and. She looks at a black-haired boy and squeals. I dislike traitors and perverts. And my dream is. Looks over to the same boy and squeals louder. Good. Hyuga Hinata. Hinata stood up. She was wearing a yellow and white jacket with blue pants. Hello. My name is Hyuga Hinata. I like flowers and medicine. I dislike people hurt others without reason. My dream is to be a good clan head and get rid of the cage bird seal, she said. At the last part many people were surprised. Throughout her entire introduction she had stuttered. But when she announced her dream, she hadn't stuttered once. Good. Inyazuka Kiba. A brash boy with a black hoodie, gray pants, and red fangs on his cheeks stood up. My name is Inyazuka Kiba. I like my pack, dogs, and loyalty. I dislike anyone who makes fun of my pack or breaks my trust. My dream is to be a good clan head and the greatest hunter nin. Kiba said. Good. Narashikamaru. The boy with a pineapple haircut and a lazy look on his face stood up. Yon troublesome. I like watching clouds, sleeping, and playing shogi. I dislike anything troublesome or tedious. My dream is to be a good clan head and have an average family. Good. Uchiha Sasuke. At this many girls squealed and turned to him with hearts in their eyes. My name is Uchiha Sasuke. I like my family. I dislike traitors. My dream is to surpass my brother. Good. Uzumaki Naruto. Hey, my name is Uzumaki Naruto. I like Jiji, Ichiraku Jiji, Am Nichin, and the one who saved me from insanity. I dislike traitors and abusers. My dream is to be the greatest Hokage. Naruto exclaimed. The class just stared. Haha. I know you. Said Kiba. Mom told me to be nice to you since you don't have anyone. But hell. You're just a dope if you think you can be Hokage. Yeah. If anyone is going to be Hokage, it'll be Sasuke-kun. Said Sakura. Iruka was conflicted. He knew who the kid was. He knew he still held the anger at the Kyubi for the death of his parents. But if Sandaime trusted him, then he should too. And seeing him getting treated like this reminded him of himself when he was younger. Enough. He yelled, I will not let anyone make fun of someone else in this class. Especially about not having family. Now everyone, sit down. At that everyone who was either laughing or standing back became quiet or sat down. It's alright Iruka-sensei. I'll just have to become stronger, Naruto said with a fake smile. Iruka frowned. He had used that same smile. It also seemed that he had been the only one to pick up on the insanity part of his introduction. Alright. Yamanaka Ino. Hi, I'm Yamanaka Ino. I like flowers, my family, and. Looks over to Sasuke and squeals. I dislike perverts and forehead, and my dream is. Looks at Sasuke and squeals louder. Naruto and Kiba cover their ears in pain, while in Naruto's mind, Kurama runs the back of his cage and covers his ears. Sigh, this is gonna be a long 4 years, thought Iruka. After school. Hey, old man. Get me a miso and shrimp please. Naruto yelled as he bolted into Ichiraku ramen. Naruto. Am said as she hugged him. How was your first day? It was good, I guess. We just introduced ourselves and went over some of the clan symbols of Konoha. Oh, okay. Well. Am asked with a sly smirk. Well, what? I think she's asking if that girl of yours is in your class. Tucci said. Shut up. I told you already it's not like that. Naruto said with a blush on his face. He did love them like a family, but when they teased them about Hinata, he couldn't help but be annoyed. Yes, he had told them about Hinata. In fact, the third knew about her too. Of course, he had figured it out after a few months of looking at his crystal ball. Naruto had told the Ichirakus himself after slipping up. He wondered if this was what having was like. I know, but it's so cute. Am squealed. Nichin, stop. Naruto said, flushed. Leave the boy alone, Am. Tucci sigh, alright, a miso and shrimp ramen for our favorite customer. Thanks for the food, Naruto said as he started to eat. So how's training going, my boy? Asked Tucci. It's fine. I finally completed the Phoenix Flower and the Great Breakthrough. I'm trying to work on my Kinjutsu and Genjutsu right now. Kinjutsu is going well, but I'm having a hard time with Genjutsu. Seriously, even with my Kitsurigan, the lowest I can do is a B rank. And I can barely dispel my own, let alone others. Well, hopefully you can get the hang of it soon. Am said. Yeah, hopefully. Naruto said. 4 years later. The next 4 years went by like a breeze. In those 4 years Naruto had become second tallest in the class, tied with Sasuke and behind Shino, who was the tallest. He had grown his hair out so that it was now shoulder length and he kept in a ponytail. The entire time Naruto had kept up his idiot persona. However, there was one class where he would always pay attention and show off his knowledge. Hokage history. That was the only thing he would deliberately do well in. Everything else he would be doing bad in, spars, tests and other classes. His teachers would comment on this and he would reply that he needed to know about his predecessors. However, not all good things came with the 4 years in age. As the kids got older they got more interested in the opposite gender. Of course, the girls in the class started young. The boys who showed this most would be Kiba and Sasuke. They would show their interest in the same girl. This made Naruto furious because of their forcefulness. Not only would they push themselves against her, but it wasn't any girl. It was Hinata. He saw how uncomfortable she was, so at any chance he got, he would cause a scene to distract or stall them until Iruka-sensei came back or yelled at the class to sit down. He also wasn't so dense that he didn't notice her feelings. He would love to return them, but he knew the problems he caused and he was meant to protect her. Before graduation exams. Naruto. Get back here. Said Tiger. Ha ha. Baka. You Anbu can't even catch a 12-year-old. Jiji should reassign you to Genin. Yelled Naruto as he disappeared in the wind. Where'd he go to? Yelled Kat as they ran by a fence. As soon as they got out of sight Naruto dropped the tarp he held against the fence. Damn Anbu. Naruto. Yelled Iruka. What are you doing here, Iruka-sensei? You should be in class. No. You should be in class. Iruka said as he grabbed Naruto's ear. Ow, 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 ow. Did you get that from Anko Nichinji's academy? Alright. Since Naruto skipped class, you all be going over the Henge no Jutsu. Oh. Nice going kid, said the fox. Shut up Kurama, said Naruto. Kurama had given Naruto his name a few weeks after beginning the academy. Do you know Naruto? Huh? Asked Naruto. You're up, Iruka. Okay, said Naruto with a smirk. Henge. When the smoke cleared Iruka saw a girl version of his blonde student, but smoke was blocking the more explicit areas. Iruka and his assistant, Mizuki flew black from the nosebleed. Haha. That was my Warak no Jutsu. Enough games. 2 hours later. Alright. Class dismissed. As Naruto left the academy he went into hiding to activate his jutsu. He made a hand seal and the wind around him became sharp and his weight decreased. As he went back to his parents' house, all the civilians saw was a red and orange blur and a strong wind. As Naruto walked into his parents' estate he got the memories of his clones while he was at the academy. Alright, flash tags are done nice. I was finally able to get the bones poking out of my knuckles. Cloth healing seal is completed. That's good progress on that jutsu is coming nicely. Damn. Still no progress on Hiraishin. Dad really is a genius. Wherever the original notes are, he's lucky to have found them. Kid, come in the seal. There's something I want to give you, said Kurama. Alright. Seal. So what was it that you wanted to give me? Naruto asked. He was standing on a pointed rock facing 3 mountains in a triangle formation and facing a rice field. A few years back he found scrolls from his mother on the Kyubi's seal, and there were notes on changing the scenery. Kyubi threw a scroll at Naruto. It's the Kitsune summoning scroll. Tomorrow I want to show them what a real animal can do, he said. I'm not summoning your gigantic ass. Shut up kid, and you won't have to, summon me in my full form, it's worth one tail of my chakra. So use 1/9 of a tail from my chakra pool, and I'll come out the size of the Gaki's dog with one tail. If you want to summon other foxes use your own chakra, Kurama said. Oh okay. Alright kid, that's all I wanted to say, now if you want to live, dodge that kunai. What? Outside the seal. I know it's you Anko Nichan. Are you trying to kill me the day before I graduate? Exclaimed the Redeed. Haha. Quick as ever Gaki, I can tell you'll be valuable to Konoha. Said Anko. I already am, Naruto responded as he pointed to his stomach. Oh yeah, right, forgot about that. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you good luck tomorrow. The Takubetsu Jounin said. I will. Naruto said with a foxy grin on his face. Good, now if you'll excuse me, I have some people to torture. She said with a gleeful smile on her face while releasing killing intent that made Naruto sweat. Alright bye, Naruto said as he pushed her out the door. Later that night. Tomorrow's the day my mask comes off, got any ideas on what I should do? Walk in there with a calm aura mixed with mine, recommended Kurama. That's not bad, alright I'll do it. Don't forget the new clothes that you bought. I won't. Academy graduation day. As Iruka walked in he expected loud chatter and needed to use his big head no jutsu. Instead his class was so quiet he could hear Shikamaru's snoring. Alright class. This is your last day as students of mine. I wanted to say that once you become genin of Konoha, your lives will never be the same. You will be taking missions that will take you out of the village, and on these missions there is a possibility you will have to take a life. Doing this does not mean you are a bad person, instead think about doing it for the greater good of your village and your clients. So without further ado, let's get to attendance. Aburami Shino. Here. Akamichi Choji. Here. Uruno Sakura. Here. Yuga Hinata. Here. Inyazuka Kiba. Here. Nara Shikamaru. Troublesome. Here. Uchiha Sasuke. HN. Yamanaka Ino. Here. Uzumaki Naruto. Uzumaki Naruto. Haha, looks like the dope fails. Said a triumphant Sasuke. Boy, look up. The class looked up and their eyes widened. They saw one Uzumaki Naruto standing on the ceiling. He was wearing a black long-sleeve shirt along with black Anbu pants. He had a red unzipped hoodie with black flames on the bottom and sleeves. The hoodie ended where the bottom of his ribs would be, and the hood was black, with the sleeves being long enough to go past his hands. He had on fingerless gloves with metal plates on the back and black ninja sandals. On the top, or should I say bottom, of his head was an Akamaru-sized orange one-tailed fox. Here, Iruka-sensei. I knew he was hiding something, thought Iruka and a pineapple-haired boy at the same time. Naruto. Stop trying to act cool like Sasuke-kun. Yelled the pink-haired banshee. Uruno, shut up, said Uzumaki. It was then that everyone noticed his aura. It was calm, but also held something else they couldn't pinpoint. They couldn't tell if it was malice, or glee. They decided to keep their mouths shut for now. HN. Dope, how are doing that? I demand you tell me and teach me, said Sasuke as he looked up to the Redeed. No, was Naruto's simple response. He dropped down in between the row where Kiba and Sasuke were sitting and where Hinata was sitting, stopping them from gazing at her. The shy Hyuga let out a sigh of relief, while Kiba growled and Sasuke glared. Alright class, that's enough. If you want to become genin we have to get to the examination. So will all of you quiet down so we can pass out the tests. Izuki started passing out tests, and as he passed Naruto his test, he gave him a suspicious smile, Naruto giving the same smile back. Naruto noticed that there was a small gain jutsu on the test, so with a subtle pulse of his chakra, the gain jutsu dispersed. 40 minutes later. Alright. With everyone finished with their test, we will be moving on to the taijutsu portion of the exams. The class went outside and lined up outside of the taijutsu circle. After a few nameless taijutsu matches, Iruka got to the clan heirs. Next. Hyuga Hinata and Yamanaka Ino. Yeah. Get here Hinata-chan. Kiba called, if you win I'll give yo. He suddenly felt a large amount of killing intent directed at him. He turned his head to the left and saw Naruto watching the match. He could sense the killing rolling off of him. What's with the killing intent, dope? Inyazuka, finish that sentence, Naruto said with a cold glare that made Kiba take an involuntary step back. Kiba tried to respond, but the words died on his tongue, so he just growled and turned back to the match. Winner. Hyuga Hinata, said Iruka. As Hinata walked back to where everyone was crowded she saw Kiba cheering her and Sasuke giving a sly smile. She put her head back down, but when she looked back up she saw Naruto giving her a gentle smile, causing her to blush, which in turn caused Kiba and Sasuke to glare at him and give off a small amount of killing intent. Naruto raised his eyebrow. "What? HN? What does she see in you?" asked the Uchiha. "Why don't you ask her?" He responded with a glare that sent shivers down their spines. Uchiha Sasuke and Uzumaki Naruto. At this, every girl besides Hinata screamed and squealed for their Sasuke-kun to win. Once they were both inside the circle, Sasuke pointed at Naruto and said, "You may act different and dress, but you're still the same dope that I've always beat." Naruto did not respond. "Fight," announced Iruka. Neither Naruto or Sasuke went at each other. For several minutes they just stared. Sasuke eventually had enough and rushed Naruto with kunai. He swung the kunai at Naruto's head, and in the quickest motion Sasuke had ever seen him move, Naruto punched his solar plexus, causing him to double over. Naruto kicked Sasuke's chin, knocking him out. "Winner Uzumaki Naruto," Iruka exclaimed. "You cheated." Sakura and Ino yelled, causing everyone to cover their ears, but giving Naruto, Kurama, Kiba, and Akamaru lasting damage. "Can you scream any louder?" Naruto asked. Naruto was about to yell. "Enough. Get back to class so we can get to ninjutsu," screamed Iruka. "Classroom. Alright class, for this part of the exam you were performing the 3 basic academy jutsu. These are the Henge no Jutsu, Kawarimi no Jutsu, and Bunshin no Jutsu. Shit. The least I can do is 2. And that takes a lot of control. Sucks to be you kid, I love my life. I can just sleep all day," Kurama said from the top of his head. Everybody had passed the ninjutsu test and it was Naruto's turn to take the test. "Alright Naruto, please perform the 3 basic jutsu," said Iruka. Naruto performed both the Henge and the Kawarimi no Jutsu perfectly. "Alright. Just Foku wait. What is this? Someone is messing with my chakra wait. This is Mizuki's, what are you up to?" Naruto decided to fail just to see what Mizuki would do to him if he was his idiotic self. Yes, it was a risk, but rather safe than sorry. And with that Naruto created a dead-looking Bunshin. "Sai, I don't get it Naruto, you're able to do the other jutsus easily, so why can't you do this one?" asked Iruka. "Sorry Iruka-sensei. You know I've never been good at any Bunshins. I'll just have to try next year." Naruto left the classroom with a contemplative look on his face. When he got outside he saw everyone in the class with their parents. Everyone but one. He saw that Hinata left by herself and he thought hard about walking with her but ultimately decided not to, scared of what will happen to her if she was seen with him. "Naruto." Naruto turned around and saw Mizuki and his eyes narrowed. "What is it sensei? You seemed pretty bummed out about failing, so I let you in on a secret." Naruto decided to play his part and act his part. "The secret?" he asked with a tinge of hope in his voice. "Yes. There is a second test for those who may be promising but also failed. And I was nominated?" Naruto asked gleefully. Inside his mind Mizuki was smiling. "Same old Naruto. Gullible as always." "Yes you were. What you have to do is steal a big scroll from the Hokage's office and learn one jutsu from it." "Alright. I'll do it sensei." "Good, I have no doubt you'll do it." "Hokage's office." Naruto. "Hey old man, so basically Mizuki-sensei said there was a second test to steal the giant scroll over there and learn one jutsu from it and it's really obvious it's a trap, so I'm gonna take it for a bit to catch him, so sorry about this." Naruto said as he performed Warak no Jutsu and took the scroll. Meeting point. "Alright." He said to learn one jutsu from the scroll. Might as well get to work, thought Naruto. "Alright Kage Bunshin, well I already know that, but I'll just show him that one. I'll just see what else there is and if there's one worth copying down I will." Naruto looked through the scroll until he came upon 2 jutsu. "Alright. Exploding Kage Bunshin and… no way. This is the original notes of the Hiraishin. This is how dad did it. Thank you Mizuki." 2 hours later. "There you are Naruto." "Huh? Oh hey Iruka-sensei," said the Reteed. "What are you doing stealing the scroll? Are you insane?" the irate Chunin questioned. "No time to explain, but I think Mizuki will be here soon," Naruto answered. "Nice one Naruto." Mizuki yelled as a volley of kunai and shuriken came at the 2 oblivious ninja. "Naruto look out." Iruka yelled, "Arg." Naruto saw that as Iruka pushed him away he was hit by a majority of the weapons. "Now that you're out of the way, we can get to the main event. But I wouldn't mind breaking the demon. Now Naruto, do you know why everyone in the village hates you?" Iruka's eyes widened at the implication of Mizuki's question. "No Mizuki, it's forbidden," exclaimed the Chunin. What Naruto said next both surprised them and scared Mizuki. Yes, I do know why. I've known for 6 years. I've been talking to it for all of those years. What did you think my fox was? Normal. You should know I'm anything but normal. And Mizuki, now that you've heard my niacin, you're dead, Naruto said in a dark voice. Fine demon, we'll see what you can do. Yelled the white-haired man. He threw his Fuma shuriken at Naruto, and just as it was about to hit him, Naruto made hand signs and yelled out a jutsu he had never heard. This Mizuki is my first original jutsu. Shakuten. Tatsumaki no Hanu. Scorch release. Tornado flame. An. Imagine Obito's blast flame wild dance, but it coming from the mouth of the caster. Mizuki's eyes widened as a spiraling tornado filled with black flames came rushing at him. He put his arms in an X formation to block the flames. Aourg. What is this? I can't put it out. That's just one of 3 of my bloodlines. The only thing that can put it out is my blood. Naruto said coldly. You damn demon. Put this out now. Alright, you asked for it. Naruto said. Mizuki and Iruka's eyes popped out of their sockets as Naruto's eyes changed to a taijutsu they've never seen before. Naruto took a sealing scroll from his kunai pouch. As soon as he released it, a giant pool of blood formed at his feet. Naruto lifted his hand and said, Kai no Hitsugi, blood coffin. Blood wrapped around Mizuki's body so that only his face was visible. He pushed back and Mizuki was pinned to a tree. That was 2 of 3, Mizuki, give up now and live. If I show you my 3rd bloodline I guarantee death, Naruto warned. I'll never relent to you, demon. Fine. It's your death. Mizuki's face turned to one of horror as he saw 2 bone swords come out of Naruto's body, wielded by the boy. Naruto ran at Mizuki and stabbed both into his shoulders, causing him to go unconscious from the blood loss. Are you okay, Iruka-sensei? Naruto asked as the blood went back into the seal. Naruto, how? The amazed Chunin asked. Bloodlines in practice. Also, I just remembered that I didn't even get to show him Kage Bunshin. You learned Kage Bunshin. Yeah, but I learned them like 2 years ago. Why didn't you do them at graduation? Well, I was about to, but Mizuki was messing with my chakra, so I decided to just create a dead clone to see what he was planning. I took that risk and that's how we ended up here. So you can really do them? Yep, said Naruto as he created 1000 shadow clones. Iruka's eyes widened and his jaw hit the floor. There's got to be 1000 here. Yeah, but it takes a bunch of chakra. But I have that chakra so I'm okay. Iruka smiled. Naruto, close your eyes please. Okay. Naruto felt something wrap around his neck. Okay, open them. As Naruto looked at Iruka, he saw that his forehead was bare of his Konoha headband. He looked down and saw it strapped around his neck. Sorry. Couldn't fit around your head with your ponytail, that was the second best option, Iruka said. It's okay, I like it better this way, Naruto said sincerely. Iruka smiled, oh and Naruto, if that doesn't spell it out, congratulations on graduating. 1 week later. A week after graduation, the newly minted genin gathered back into the classroom for team placements. There was one person that they had never seen before that had on a leaf headband. He had on black anbu pants with a gray shirt. Over the shirt he had a black vest similar to Shikamaru's with red straps for the tanto he wore on his back. Their heads turned as they saw the one person they thought had failed in the doorway. There was Naruto with a forehead protector strung around his neck. The only difference in his clothing that they noticed was the headband and a belt he had around his waist, that 10 scrolls. 9 of them were about the size of his forearm, and the 10th was about the size of his hand. Naruto, you passed. Thank goodness, thought Hinata. Nobody had noticed except Naruto, whose eyes widened. Hinata now had a bandage around her forehead, which could only mean one thing. Shit. Everybody else's thoughts on Naruto went along the lines of, damn it, why did he have to pass? Now I might be on a team with him. The only one who spoke up was Sakura. Naruto. What are you doing here? You failed. Naruto, I've said it once and I'll say it again, shut up, said Naruto. Sigh, there was a misunderstanding while grading, so I had to fix the mistakes written down, said Iruka. Now, Naruto, please take a seat. Hi, Iruka-sensei. Alright. I will only be saying the teams once, so listen up. Team 1. At this, Naruto zoned out. Throughout the class he could hear groans from Sasuke fangirls who wouldn't be with their beloved. He started to listen when it came to clan heirs. Team 7. Sai, Haruno Sakura, and Uchiha Sasuke. Yeah. True love wins overall. Take that Ino pig. Yelled the ecstatic Pinkette. Sakura, sit down, I wasn't finished. Yelled Iruka. Alright. Team 7, your sensei will be Hot Aki Kakashi. Team 8. Aburami Shino, Yuga Hinata, and Yuzuka Kiba. Wahoo. You hear that, Akamaru, we're with Hina-chan. Kiba yelled. Kiba, let me finish. Screamed Iruka. Now, your sensei is Yuhi Kurenai. Kurenai Nichan. Thought Naruto and Hinata. Well, at least there's someone to watch Kiba if he makes any moves, thought the Redeed. Team 10. Yamanaka Ino, Nara Shikamaru, and Akamichi Choji. Your sensei is Sarutobi Asuma. Said Iruka. Now, Naruto, will you come with me to talk about your team? Naruto frowned but nodded nonetheless. When they were outside the classroom, Iruka spoke up. Naruto, the Hokage has given you a choice. Flashback. There was a lot of chatter in the Hokage office about who will be getting who on their team. This went on for a couple of minutes until the Hokage put an end to it. Enough. If you don't mind, I will be getting on to teams. Thank you. Team 7 will be composed of Hokage Kakashi, Uchiha Sasuke, Sai, and Haruno Sakura. Team 8 will be composed of Yuhi Kurenai, Aburami Shino, Yuga Hinata, and Inyazuka Kiba. Team 10 will be composed of Sarutobi Asuma, Yamanaka Ino, Nara Shikamaru, and Akamichi Choji. Team 9 is still in circulation. Team 11 will be composed of Uzumaki Naruto alone. Are there any concerns? Announced the Hokage. Lord Hokage, why is my student on his own? Asked Iruka. I'm glad you asked, Iruka-kun. You see, I don't think Naruto-kun will fit on any team. He won't fit for Team 10 as a tactical squad, he doesn't fit on the tracking team of Team 8, and from what I've seen of your reports, neither the Uchiha or Haruno like him. He will mainly be a backup team that only I will assign and grant missions to. And from what I saw with the Mizuki incident in his life, he's fine and more comfortable working alone. If a team has an open spot, it will be up to him if he wants to join. Flashback end. So what's the other choice? Asked Naruto. Join a team with the other outliers. I'll take the first choice. Gigi's right, I don't fit on the other teams, plus I can just make my own team with my Kage Bunshin. I'll be Team 11 alone, Iruka-sensei, the recon and backup team, Uzumaki Naruto. Said Naruto. Alright Naruto, let's go announce this, said Iruka. When they got back into class, Naruto took the same seat he took a week earlier, causing both Kiba and Sasuke to glare at him. The class slowly started to disperse as more and more teams left. The last 3 teams and Naruto's heads lifted at the next 2 jounin. The burly and tall man with a cigar came in with a red-eyed, black-haired woman with a blouse that looked like it was made of bandages with one red sleeve. Team 8. Yuhi Kurenai. Team 10. Sarutobi Asuma. As Team 10 left with Asuma, Hinata got up and as she walked by Kiba, he stuck out his hand to grab her by her ass. Before he got there, however, a kunai cut in front of his hand, stopping him. He looked left and saw Naruto on the windowsill. Kurenai Nichin, Shino, watch the mutt, he's a feisty one, the redeed said as he hopped out the window. Before he could defend himself, Kiba felt 3 large killing intents coming from Kurenai and Sakura. Hey Gigi. Thanks for the solo team. You made a good decision. If I was placed on a team, especially with people who I don't like, it will mess our teamwork, and we need teamwork for our missions, especially as fresh genin, said Naruto. Ah, Naruto-kun, I'm glad you chose the better decision. Said Sarutobi, he knows what to do without even a test, he thought happily. Oh yeah, if a spot opens up, I don't want in. If a jounin ever wants to teach me, that's fine, but I don't want a permanent sensei without my choosing. That's fine Naruto-kun, responded the Hokage. So, since I'm already my own team, can I get a few missions? A few? Well, I can make Kage Bunshin and D ranks really only take 1 to 2 people, so if I create 20 Kage Bunshins, it's 10 missions a day. Explained Naruto. Very well, here are your 10 missions, said Sarutobi with a smile. When Naruto got outside, he created 19 clones going into pairs of 2. The original Naruto and Enkapi went off to their mission, babysitting a little brat at the Sarutobi compound. Once Naruto got to the Sarutobi compound, he knocked on the doors of the estate. The doors opened, showing Sarutobi's daughter-in-law. She had on a pink apron and was wearing brown pants with a green blouse. Hey, I'm to babysit a brat while Mika has a girls' night out. Yes, that's me, thank you for watching Konohamaru, said the now named Mika, just to let you know he might want to train for the academy, so if you could help him practice, I would be very grateful. Of course, said Naruto. Thank you, here are the keys, we live in the main house over there, and watch out for any of his ambushes, she said in a rush. Alright, have a good time, said the flabbergasted Redeed. As he walked towards the main house, he heard whistling come towards him. He took out his father's 3-pronged kunai and cut all the wooden shuriken in half. Let me guess, are you Konohamaru? Asked Naruto to nobody in particular. How did you do that? Asked the derpy-looking boy. He had a tan shirt with the Konoha symbol on it, he had grey pants with blue ninja sandals. He had a long blue scarf that was too big for him and a cap that let out his hair at the top. I'm a ninja, kid, that's how. And I'll be the one babysitting and training you. Name's Naruto, said Naruto. Wow. Really? Exclaimed Konohamaru, amazing. Alright kid, your aim sucks, so we'll work on that, Naruto said half-heartedly. No it doesn't. How would you know? Screamed the angered kid. I know because my reaction time is as good as the Sharingan. And I don't have it, Naruto said. Are there training grounds here? Yeah, they're over this way, Konohamaru said as he pointed past the house. Training grounds. Alright, can you show me how you threw your kunai and shuriken, Naruto said as he put a senbon in his teeth. Alright, Konohamaru said as he took out 4 shuriken and 4 kunai. He threw them at the training post where none of them hit. I see why you're so bad at this. You don't even aim. You throw them hoping one will hit, explained Naruto. Huh? Said Konohamaru, then how do I aim? Well, there are many ways to throw kunai, shuriken and other weapons, but I throw shuriken similar to frisbees and kunai, as if I was skipping rocks, Naruto said. Oh, I know how to do that, said Konohamaru. Good, now grab some good rocks for skipping and get a frisbee. We'll be working on your aim for the next hour to hour and a half. Okay Naruto Naichin. Konohamaru called. Naruto smiled at the retreating boy, he's a lot like me he thought. He's so much like you it's scary, said Kurama. Konohamaru came back with a bucket of rocks and a frisbee. Naruto was nowhere in sight. Naruto Naichin? He asked. Right here, Konohamaru. Konohamaru turned around and saw Naruto holding something behind his back. What's that? Asked the curious boy. A present for you. But first take off your cap. Naruto told him. Okay. Now what? Konohamaru watched as Naruto took a green pair of goggles from behind his back and held them out to him. For you, I used to wear them in the academy before I graduated. I don't use them anymore so you'll put better use to them. But promise me something, okay? When you find someone who interests you when you become a shinobi like you interest me, give the goggles and give them the same message I gave you right now, Naruto said. You can count on it Naruto Naichin. Konohamaru said as he put on the goggles. Alright, let's get to the training. 1 hour and a half later. Pant Naruto Pant Naichin, that was a lot of work. Konohamaru said exasperated. It wasn't that bad, plus your aim is much better now, you hit 85% of your throws, Naruto complimented, so what do you want to do now? I'm not sure. Ibisu-sensei usually shows up around now, said the Sarutobi. Oh, hey Konohamaru. Yeah? What's your dream? To be Hokage. Konohamaru yelled. That's ironic, said Naruto as Kurama nodded. Why? Cause that's my dream as well, said the Uzumaki, why is it yours? Konohamaru's face fell at this, Gramps named me after the village Konoha, but all people call me honorable grandson. That's why I want to become Hokage, so they can finally see me, and not just the Hokage's grandson, he explained. Konohamaru, I'm going to be blunt, that's not a great reason to become Hokage. My reason is to protect the people most precious to me, and even if it treats me badly, the village as well. I learned that over 6 years ago. It used to be to get the villagers' recognition, but I know that will take a very long time. I learned this after a talk with Jiji. Naruto said. Jiji? Asked Konohamaru. A third is like a grandfather to me, you know, explained Naruto, he's always there when I need him. Konohamaru now had a whole new outlook on becoming the Hokage. He looked at his grandfather's face in the Hokage mountain, don't worry Jiji, when I become Hokage, I'll protect this village and my precious people just like you. Honorable grandson. Yelled a dopey-sounding voice. Naruto looked over to see a man with blue ninja clothes, glasses, and a leaf forehead protector worn as a headband. Who are you? Asked Iridid. That's who Lord Third sent to babysit his precious grandson. Thought the man, I am Ibisu, the honorable grandson's personal tutor. You let him call you that. Said Naruto as he frowned at Konohamaru. He keeps insisting on calling me that, Konohamaru replied looking at the floor. And you, if you were his personal tutor, why is his weapon aim so bad? I taught him for an hour and a half, and he was hitting the targets by 70% more from when we started, Naruto scolded. You do not have the right to talk to me, an elite, that way, said Ibisu dignantly. I call him and talk to him how I see him. And you, said Naruto as he looked Ibisu up and down, are a closet pervert that tries to use shortcuts. Ibisu face planted as he heard the last part. However, Konohamaru's eyes widened. You knew he used shortcuts just by looking at him, wow boss you're so cool. Konohamaru exclaimed. Yeah, it's pretty easy, I knew just by the way he holds himself. Said Naruto, listen Ibisu, or whatever your name is, right now I'm watching the brat and it's a mission that I'm glad I got so either leave so I can continue to enjoy it or do something that allows you to stay. Fine, said Ibisu, getting up still having a slight blush on his face, this will impress you for sure. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. As Ibisu said this 20 clones popped up beside him. Wow. Can I learn that Konohamaru asked excitedly. Of course. Under my teaching you can learn anything. Yelled Ibisu. Are you trying to kill him? You need Jounin level chakra to pull that off. And is that supposed to impress me? Naruto asked. Taju Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. As soon as he said that 200 clones popped into the training ground. Ibisu and Konohamaru were stunned. How? Asked Ibisu. That's a secret, said Naruto, now, I'll be watching Konohamaru until Mika-san gets back. I have about another 3 to 4 hours, so if you could be on your way that would be much appreciated. Ibisu and his 20 clones walked out of the compound still shocked at the 200 clones. 1 week later. The ranks were no longer a problem because of Naruto and his Kage Bunshin. He had gotten over 70 done in the past week alone, he had done nearly 10x the amount than most genin teams had. This of course did not sit well with the emo uchiha who had seen too many Narutos around the village. His genin team had nearly failed their test and they had only been working on teamwork exercises and only done 5 missions. Hokage's office. Hokage-sama, I think we deserve a C rank mission, said Sasuke. Yeah? Sasuke-kun should get a C rank. What's the point of useless chores anyway? Screamed Sakura. So I just stood there while Kakashi was off in his own little world with his uchiha. Kakashi, do you think your team can handle a C rank? Asked the Hokage. Kakashi beepized his team for a bit and then nodded, hi, Hokage-sama. I feel they're ready. Sasuke and Sai are high genin to low chunin level, and Sakura is about mid genin level. I think they can do an escort mission. The Hokage nodded, very well. You will be escorting Tazuna to Nami no Kuni so that he can build his bridge. He looked at the door and said, you can come in now Tazuna-san. Team 7 looked at the door and saw a scruffy looking old man. He had on a brown shirt and green shorts. He had a bottle which was filled with sake and they could tell he was drunk. Next to him was someone they weren't expecting. Dope. Get out of here, we're in an official meeting here, can't you see? Said Sasuke. Like a care what you say, said Naruto as he passed Team 7. Don't talk to Sasuke-kun like that. Screamed Sakura. But you have to be so loud, you'll make both old men go deaf, he said as Tazuna glared at him, while the Hokage laughed. I'll be okay Naruto-kun. Anyways, are you here to turn in your missions? Asked Sarutobi. Hi, Hokage-sama. Gotta say though, I feel bad for Tora, her owner is way too rough, said Naruto chuckling a little. Anyways, I'm gonna go train with Konohamaru. See you Jiji. Naruto said as he jumped out the window. I keep telling him to use the door, but he doesn't listen, the Hokage muttered. Team 7 were just dumbfounded. They saw the way Naruto talked to the Hokage and for a few seconds he was respectful, but then it took a 180 and they were talking like old friends. The Hokage coughed to get their attention. Anyways, as I was saying. Please escort Tazuna-san to Nami no Kuni. Wait, this is my team? A bunch of kids? Asked Tazuna. Don't worry Tazuna-san, my team is very capable. And if anything goes wrong, I'm a jounin. Said Kakashi, alright team, this mission might take a while, so pack for 2 weeks. 1 day later. Naruto was walking through the streets when he saw someone he hadn't seen since team selection. He looked around and saw the coast was clear. Hey Hinata. He greeted as he ran up to the depressed looking girl, what's wrong? He asked as he saw her grim look. It's nothing and Naruto-kun, said Hinata. I can tell something's wrong, you don't have to keep it to yourself, you know. Said Naruto. Hinata's eyes filled with tears and she turned to him so that only he could see her face. She unraveled the bandages around her forehead as she started to cry. Naruto's eyes widened and he clenched his fists. On Hinata's forehead was the bane of the cadet branch of the Hyuga clan, Caged Bird Seal. Hinata, said Naruto. My father saw that Sakura-san W was the Kunoichi of the year and said that if IIW wasn't able to do better than a civilian-born girl, I wasn't goody enough to be heiress. So he put the Caged Bird Seal on me the day after the graduation exams. She explained sadly. Naruto was speechless, how could they do that to their own family? The two looked up as they heard a messenger hawk above them. Naruto held out his hand and opened the scroll. Sorry Hinata-chan, I'm needed in the Hokage's office. But get better okay, it'll all get better in time, he said as he gave her a gentle smile. She nodded and then blushed as she realized the chan suffix he added on to her name. She looked at his retreating figure and her mood dropped once more. She felt around her pocket and found the metal piece she had been using for the past few years. I don't know if it will, Naruto-kun, she thought sadly. Hokage's office. Naruto was still in a bad mood when he got to the Hokage's office. Sarutobi noticed and asked. Is something the matter Naruto-kun? It's nothing Jiji, the obviously irritated boy said. Sarutobi nodded and didn't question any further. Anyways, what I brought you here for, do you remember the mission I sent Team 7 on yesterday? Hi, replied Naruto. Well, they ran into some, complications, and the C rank is now being bumped up to high B to low A. You are to catch up with Team 7 and help them finish their mission. Understood. Hi, Hokage-sama, Naruto said as he grabbed the scroll the Hokage gave him. Fates of Konoha. As Naruto finished sealing the necessities he needed for the mission, he activated his wind jutsu. The wind flowed around him and he felt lighter. Then he was off running at his top speed. Think of A's lightning armor, but wind. "I wonder what this mission has in store for you, kid," said Kurama. "I sure hope it doesn't take long," thought Naruto as he sped off to Nami no Kuni. "Everybody get out of here," yelled Kakashi trapped inside of a water prison. "Don't worry, Kakashi-sensei, this guy doesn't have anything against me, an uchiha elite," said Sasuke smugly. "Now, I demand you let our sensei go." "Hahaha. That's good. You demanding me?" said a shirtless man. He had short brown hair and no eyebrows. He wore a scratched Kurigakure headband sideways and had bandages and a mask on his face. On his back was a sword that looked like a giant butcher's knife. This man's name was Mamachi Zabuza, the demon of the hidden mist. He created a water clone to hold back the obviously green genin. "Shit," thought Kakashi, "Zabuza. They're just kids. Leave them out of this," he begged. "Kids? So what? I'm guessing you knew what I did at the Kiri graduation exams. After all, it's in the bingo book," said Zabuza. "What graduation exams?" asked Sasuke. 10 years ago the then called Blood Mist Village had to change their genin graduation exams because one kid killed all 100 attendees, said Kakashi. The genin all looked at Zabuza, who they were guessing had a gleeful smile on his face. Kids who grew up together, having to face each other to the death. Killing them was such a joy. The blood everywhere, how I wish I could do it again, yelled Zabuza maniacally. Blood. It is such a nice color. Is it not? Red. Seeing it at such a young age and being the one who caused it. I know that feeling, said a voice none of the 5 shinobi there recognized. Zabuza turned around and saw a kid the same age as the genin team with a leaf headband. He had red hair that was in a ponytail. The best part was he was alone. "And you are?" asked the missing nin. "Sorry, Uzumaki Naruto," said Naruto. "That's the backup Sunday Amisama sent," thought Kakashi. "Uzumaki, huh? I thought they were wiped out," thought Zabuza. Suddenly everyone's eyes widened. The air around Naruto started to lift, making it look like he had an armor of wind around him. "Like my wind armor?" asked Naruto. "Made it myself." Naruto rushed at Zabuza with blinding speeds, and before Zabuza could blink, he felt a fist connect to his stomach and he flew back, causing Kakashi to be freed. "Thanks," said the grateful Jounin. "No problem," replied Naruto. Zabuza got up and made hand signs. "Kurigakure no jutsu," he said, and the mist got thicker tenfold. "Shit. My senses are all messed up," said Naruto. "Kakashi, I'm calling out a friend of mine. Kuchius no jutsu," he added. Kakashi's eyes widened as a two-tailed fox about the size of a husky appeared next to him. "Hein, I need you to find someone," said Naruto as he held out his hand. "Sniff blood, sniff, a bit leathery, sniff, and smells wet and sweaty." "Okay, he's 12 o'clock. Kakashi's eyes widened, the others. Sasuke, Sakura, and Sai were in a triangle formation around Tazuna. They felt someone appear in between them. "Shit," thought Tazuna. Zabuza started to swing his butcher's knife until he was kicked in the face by Naruto. Zabuza turned into water and appeared behind Naruto. He again swung his sword until Kakashi appeared, making hand signs. "Suiton. Daibakufu no jutsu," Kakashi yelled. Zabuza was blown away into a tree, causing him to become disconcerted. Surprising everyone, Naruto rushed at Zabuza and took bones that had popped from his back and turned them into swords. Zabuza stood up, and just as Naruto got near him, 2 senbon came flying from the trees, hitting Zabuza in the neck, knocking him out. A masked ninja appeared before the others. "Thank you for the assist in taking down Zabuza. I have been hunting him for quite a while," said the masked ninja. "So then you are a Kiri hunter nin?" asked Kakashi. "Hi," replied the hunter nin. As the ninja was about to pick up the body, Naruto asked, "Don't hunter nins destroy the body on the spot?" The masked ninja tensed, and before anyone could do anything he disappeared in a water shunshin. "Shit," said Naruto. The Redeed dropped his bone swords and they disintegrated shortly after, and his clothes where they had been punctured were healed to how they were before. "Are you okay, Kakashi-sensei?" he asked. "Yeah, I just need a bit of rest, I overexerted myself," the Jounin stated as he slumped to the ground, conscious but unable to move his body. "Oh, how did you do that? I demand you to teach me," said Sasuke. "Do what?" asked Naruto. "Don't play stupid, Naruto Baka. You took bones out of your body. Teach it to Sasuke now," yelled Sakura. "Sorry, can't. It's a bloodline," Naruto said as he created 3 shadow clones, one turning into a stretcher for Kakashi and the 2 other to carry him. "You can't have a bloodline, you're an orphan," said Sasuke. "Just cause I'm an orphan doesn't mean I don't have an inheritance," stated the annoyed genin. "You can't have that kind of inheritance because just like you, your parents were probably losers," said Sakura smugly. "They were probably some drunk chunin who died to simple bandits on a simple escort mission." The air dropped significantly and Kakashi's eyes widened. He saw Naruto rush at Sakura and pull a bone blade from his body. Just before he could chop the girl's head clean from her neck, his arm was caught by Kakashi. This didn't stop Naruto though. His eyes changed from the slitted azure ones everybody always knew to the Kitsurigan. He controlled the blood from his bone puncture to wrap around Sakura's neck, causing her to gasp for air. He lifted her up to eye level before speaking to her in a cold, hard voice. Listen here Haruno, and listen well. You don't know who my parents are. I do. So don't go around talking about them as if you do. I know what your family is like, a bunch of high and mighty civilians who think they are better than everyone else. Just letting you know. You are not special. Know your place. You are the weakest of everyone here. I could have killed you had it not been for Kakashi-sensei. If you speak ill of my family again. Not even Kakashi will stop me, he said as he dropped the frightened girl. This declaration shocked everyone for different reasons. For Kakashi it was that he knew his parents, for Sasuke it was that he showed another bloodline, for Sai it was that he thought that Naruto was a loud mouth from what Danzo had said, and for Tazuna it was how strong this kid was. Oh, how do you have two Kekkei Genkai? I demand you give your eyes to me so I can defeat my brother. Said Sasuke demandingly once again. You sound so stupid, Uchiha. Listen to me. You will never get anything of mine. Work for yourself, said the irate Uzumaki. Enough, said Kakashi, we can't be getting into quarrels right now. First we need to complete this mission. Settle everything after. Also, Naruto, we need to talk when we get to Tazuna's. Naruto nodded. Tazuna's house. The group got to Tazuna's house only about 10 minutes after the heated conversation. Tsunami. I'm home. Tazuna called. Father. Said a dark blue-haired woman. She looked at the 5 shinobi, thank you for keeping my father safe. Of course, said Naruto, is there somewhere I can put him down? He asked, pointing to Kakashi. Go past the dining room, take a left and he can use the farthest room, Tsunami said. Thank you. As Naruto closed the door to Kakashi's room he put up a barrier seal, so what did you want to talk to me about? Iridid asked. I want to talk to you about my connection to your parents, Kakashi said. Wait, what? What do you mean your connection? Asked Naruto. When I was placed on a genin team, my jounin sensei was your father, Namikaze Minato. Throughout my time with him I started to look at him as a father figure in my life, since my father had been dead for several years. When your father was Hokage, he assigned me to Anbu so that he could help me cope with the loss of both of my teammates. When Kushina-sama, your mother, was pregnant with you, he had me watch over you. After your father and mother's death I was lost. I felt like I had lost everyone and for the next 8 years I stayed in Anbu, watching over you. For the past 4 years I have been failing genin teams. Team 7 is my first team. Said Kakashi. Throughout the story Naruto had started, he didn't know when or how, since it had been nearly 7 years since he cried last, but it just came out. You were watching over me that entire time? He said teary-eyed. Yes, I wish I could have taken you in, but I was 14 at the time, and my mental state wasn't the best for taking care of a baby. I wish I could have done more, but I didn't know how. I'm sore. Kakashi was cut off as he sat up and was wrapped in a hug by a crying Naruto. Thank you Kakashi Niasen for watching over me, said Naruto. Of course. Ataudo. Now stop crying or you'll be stuttering like that Hyuga girl you oh so heroically watch over. Said Kakashi. Naruto could just hear the smirk in his voice, but he couldn't stop a tomato red blush from covering his cheeks. Shut up Niasen, Kakashi just gave the boy an eye smile. At night. Kakashi-san. Naruto-san. Dinner's ready. Naruto came out with Kakashi on a crutch. They saw Team 7, Tazuna, Tsunami, and a boy around 8 years old at the table. Sure smells good. Naruto said happily. Itadakimasu. Said everyone at the table. A few minutes after everyone started eating, the young boy spoke up. Why? Why do you keep fighting? It's useless. Gato will kill you as he did to the others who stood up to him. Yelled the boy. Kid, we're shinobi. Everyone else who faced Gato wasn't on our level. Don't worry, said Naruto. You're just saying that because you all come from a sheltered village where you're all treated as heroes. Screamed the teary-eyed boy, you don't know how hard my life has been. Kakashi looked down and gulped. The room dropped several degrees at the boy's proclamation. Kid. You haven't had a hard life. You've had one hard year. You want to know how I'm treated in my own village? I'll tell you. I'm constantly beaten, chased, glared at, or neglected. At the academy I was forced to sit out of important lectures. When I got home, I had no one waiting. No mom, no dad. Mind you, I lived in the red light district. Every time I got back my apartment was trashed by the people who hated me, which was everyone except a select few. If I fought back I was punished by the council because the demon brat hurt the people who beat me. Back home if I love someone, they need to protect themselves. I can't return the feelings of the person whom I love most in this damned world because she'll be hurt more than she already is for being called a failure. That kid is a hard life. Said Naruto coldly, leaking some killing intent at the last part. Kakashi Niasen, I'm going out. Kakashi nodded. The boy started to cry and ran to his room. Tazuna and Tsunami were crying for Naruto. I'm sorry for Inari Hick, said Tsunami, as she started to wipe her tears. Kakashi-sensei, surely Naruto's life wasn't that bad. He made that up to get attention, right? Asked Sakura, not believing Naruto's story. No, Sakura, everything he said was true. Although I believe that was drastically watered down, said Kakashi as Sakura and Sasuke's eyes widened. Kakashi followed Inari to the dock to talk to the depressed boy. You know, I don't know the last time I've seen Naruto cry, said the Jounin as he sat down next to the crying kid. What? Asked Inari. What Naruto told you in there is true. However, I used to watch over him, and all the times I saw him, he didn't shed a single tear. Naruto's not good with people. But I believe that was his attempt at a motivational speech, Kakashi said with an eye smile. You really think so? He asked. I do, said Kakashi. Inari looked out at sea. Oda-san, I'll make you proud, he thought. 12 hours later. The kid who you couldn't tell was a girl or boy was walking around the forest picking up plants as he did so. He looked up after picking some and saw a red-headed boy with a ninja headband. He walked up to the boy seeing that he was unconscious. He narrowed his eyes at the boy. He could walk away, wake the boy, or kill the boy for his master. He stuck out his hand and before he could do anything, the boy's hand was around his wrist, his eyes still closed. You shouldn't sneak up on a shinobi like that, you know? Asked the repeat. Well, you know if you sleep outside, you'll catch a cold, said the kid. Naruto raised his eyebrow. I guess so, what's your name? Isn't it polite to give your name first? I guess so, it's Naruto. So what's your name? The Uzumaki replied. Haku, said the kid. So, Haku-san, what are you doing? I am collecting herbs for my friend. He is very ill right now, Haku said as he picked up the herb he was looking for. So what were you doing to make you sleep outside? I was training. I guess I was venting my frustration, Naruto chuckled. Training, but you look strong already, Haku said. Naruto shook his head. I may be strong to civilians, but compared to other stronger shinobi, I stand no chance. You have precious people. I always believed that if you had people to protect, you are at your strongest. Haku asked. Precious people. I have a few. Not a lot but enough to keep me happy, Naruto responded. That's good Naruto-san, now if you'll excuse me, I have to go help my precious person, Haku said as he walked away. Oh, and I'm a boy. I figured. I saw the Adam's apple, said Naruto. Oh, and tell Zabuza I'm sorry it has to be like this. Haku's eyes widened and he ran back to Zabuza's base. Naruto walked into Tazuna's house as the group was eating their breakfast. He sat down and grabbed some food as everyone stared at him. Did he spend all night outside? They all thought. Naruto, did you sleep outside? Asked Kakashi. Hi, Niasen. Why? Responded Naruto. Nothing, Kakashi said, leaving it at that. Naruto, why did you call Kakashi, Niasen? I thought you didn't have a family. Asked Sakura. Kakashi and Tazuna choked on what they were drinking. You could have worded that better, they both thought. Naruto's chopstick snapped in two and he took a deep breath. We look at the same person as our father. HN. Why would Kakashi look at your father as a father figure? Asked Sasuke. He helped him, said Naruto. Let me guess. He let him use your Horivamo. Sasuke never got to finish as he felt a giant killing intent come from both Naruto and Kakashi and was surprised when he saw a red blur and then black. Naruto in unbridled rage had run at Sasuke, punched him in his solar plexus and sent him into a wall, knocking him out instantly. Naruto. How dare you hit Sasuke-kun? Kakashi-sensei do something. Yelled Sakura. No. Sasuke brought that upon himself. I will not be punishing Naruto for something that wasn't his fault. I will be punishing Sasuke for what he said. What? Asked Sakura. Did you hear what he called Naruto's mother? Kakashi scolded. Sakura looked away from Kakashi. Sai started to take notes from what happened in the last 24 hours between Naruto and Team 7. Sai, Sakura. Come with me. I'll pick up Sasuke and we will go to the forest clearing just outside. We will be training for when we run into Zabuza and the masked nin. Said Kakashi coldly. Hi Kakashi-sensei. Damn them. Those fucking bastards, thought Naruto. Sigh, I feel like Sasuke. Kit. You shouldn't be acting like this. You should be trying to get information like you always have. Said Kurama. Yeah, you're right. Kuchiyas no jutsu. Said Naruto. As the smoke cleared, a small Akamaru-sized black one-tailed fox appeared. Kagam, I want you to look around this place for anyone suspicious. Take at most 4 days. If you can't find anything in that time frame, come back to me and inform me on what you found. Hi, Naruto-sama, said Kagam. 4 days later. Everyone except for Sasuke was having dinner at Izuna's. "Alright," said Kakashi, "tomorrow is the day that Zabuza will attack. Intel tells us that the masked ninja that saved Zabuza has the Kekkei Genkai of the ice release. That is also how we know he will be attacking tomorrow. You all have done well in your training for the past few days, Sasuke will probably be finished by tonight." Just as Kakashi said this, Sasuke walked in, exhausted and flushed. "Ah, Sasuke, how is training going?" Kakashi asked with an eye smile. "Completed," Sasuke replied, panting. "Hey. I didn't see Naruto training with us, where was he?" asked Sakura. "I believe Naruto-san had already completed it before we even got this mission, is that correct, Naruto-san?" asked Sai with a creepy fake smile. Yes I completed water walking as well," Naruto said, cringing at the smile. "Wait, why didn't we learn water walking?" asked Sakura. "It's more advanced than tree walking and would have taken longer for you all to learn and we do not have that time," explained Kakashi. Sasuke glared at Naruto, angry that once again the dope had beat him at something. Sakura looked at Naruto suspiciously, wondering how the academy dead last was better than her Sasuke-kun. Sai just nodded and started drawing. Kakashi, catching Sasuke and Sakura's look said, "When we get back to Konoha we can work on water walking and then move on to more advanced chakra control exercises." Team 7 nodded. Inari looked at the genin with hope in his eyes. Maybe, just maybe Nami could be free from Gatu's tyranny and he could make his father proud. 12 hours later. Team 7 were outside the house with a nervous Izuna. Today was the day that Zabuza would attack and they needed bait to lure him out. Naruto had left Kage Bunshins with Tsunami and Inari in case anything happened. "Please, don't lose," said Inari. Naruto smiled at him, "Don't worry. It'll all be okay." And with that Team 7, Tizuna and Naruto were off. When the group got to the bridge, they were aghast. All over the bridge were the bodies of Tizuna's workers, deep cuts all over their bodies. Tizuna and Sakura threw up at the carnage. Before they knew it, a thick mist appeared and a demonic laugh filled the bridge. "He's here." Team 7 get into formation around Tizuna. "Remember what we discussed. I will be taking on Zabuza and Naruto will be taking on the masked man. Sasuke, if Naruto needs assistance you help him when he signals it," said Kakashi. "Kakashi, why is Naruto facing him instead of me, an elite?" asked Sasuke smugly. "Now is not the time, Genin," Kakashi said coldly. Ma, Kakashi. Having problems already? We haven't even started," said Zabuza, appearing 50 feet from the Konoha shinobi. "Alright, go," said Kakashi to the Genin. Naruto activated his wind armor, lowering the wind resistance around him. He rushed at Haku, just barely missing him. "Seems like you have competition, eh Haku?" "Hi, Zabuza-sama. It seems I'll have to go all out from the start." "Hyoten. Demonic ice mirrors," said Haku. As Haku said his jutsu, mirrors of ice appeared around Naruto, trapping him. Naruto grit his teeth as he saw Haku appear in the mirrors. "Hyoten. The hell?" he thought. With his wind armor still active, Naruto tried to run out of the dome. No matter how hard he tried. It wouldn't break. "My mirrors are made with my chakra, you won't be able to break the ice." "Give up, I do not want to hurt you," Haku said. "I could have broken them by now, your ice isn't as strong as you think," Naruto said smirking. Haku's eyes twitched, "You think you can break my ice? This is an air rank jutsu. As I said before. You won't be able to break this jutsu." "We'll see," said Naruto, Kaiten. "Kakaku no jutsu." As Naruto said that, Haku's eyes widened. Coming at him was a fireball, but instead of the flames being orange, they were pitch black and hotter than any flame he had ever felt. He knew that if it impacted him it would be bad news. He jumped out of the mirror just as the flame hit it and the explosion pushed him back to where Zabuza and Kakashi were fighting, knocking him unconscious. Zabuza's eyes widened. Haku was defeated already? He thought, what the hell is that kid? He flew back as Kakashi punched him in the gut while he was distracted. Flashback. "Sorry Kakashi, but Haku will take care of that kid in 2 minutes," said Zabuza. "I wouldn't be so sure about that. Naruto has gotten to where he is today all by himself. Nobody ever helped him. But if it weren't for you, that kid of yours wouldn't be where he is. I have a feeling that Naruto will pull through," said Kakashi. Zabuza growled and took Kubakirabacho from his back and rushed at Kakashi. Kakashi grabbed a kunai and got into his taijutsu stance. Zabuza swung down at Kakashi and he dove away. He threw his kunai and Zabuza, who blocked it with the flat of his blade. Kakashi lifted up his headband and revealed his Sharingan. "The Sharingan, eh? I've learned how to fight you using that. That eye is powerful, but if you can't see, there's no use," said Zabuza. Kakashi narrowed his eyes. Using a kunai when Zabuza was using silent killing wasn't an option. His dogs couldn't be helpful for tracking, but he wasn't going to sacrifice them in case he needed to block. There was only one thing he could use. One thing he hadn't used since the third ninja war. He had gotten it fixed and reinforced so it never broke again. Kakashi took a scroll from his bag. He unsealed it, and just as Zabuza was about to cut Kakashi, it was blocked by Kakashi's weapon. Zabuza's eyes widened. "That's he muttered. "That's right. It is the weapon that made my father famous," said Kakashi. The white light chakra saber of the White Fang was in use once again. Kakashi and Zabuza jumped apart and they glared at each other. Their eyes widened as they heard an explosion and a black fireball. End of flashback. "Ooh," grunted Zabuza, "I guess you were right, Kakashi, your brat did last longer." "Uchiha no jutsu," yelled Kakashi. After Kakashi yelled the name of his jutsu, several dogs held Zabuza. Kakashi ran at Zabuza with his chakra saber crackling with lightning chakra. He aimed it at Zabuza's heart, but instead of hitting his heart, he hit Haku's heart instead. Kakashi and Zabuza's eyes widened. "Haku?" asked Zabuza. "I sorry Zabuza-sama, but it was the best I could do as a broken tool," said the dying boy. Zabuza, still trapped, let out enough killing intent to dispel the dogs. He grabbed his sword and before he could cut down Kakashi and Haku he heard a clang. He looked down and saw the brat that had defeated Haku, with bone swords in X formation. His eyes widened. "This Gaki can block the Kubikirabacho. How strong is he?" he thought. Before the fighting could go any further they heard cackling in the distance. "Ha ha ha ha. So the legendary demon of Kurigakure, defeated by a couple of brats. How full you have fallen," snarled Gatu, a short fat man in a tuxedo. He took a step forward and before he made another move an arrow landed at his feet. "We won't be under your control anymore, Gatu," yelled Inari from the other side of the bridge. Gatu scowled, "Enough of this. Men, destroy them," he said as he went behind his samurai. "Kid, back me up will you?" asked Zabuza. He then looked at Kakashi, "Can you watch over Haku, I don't want his body being destroyed." Kakashi nodded. Naruto activated his wind armor and Zabuza readied his blade. Naruto and Zabuza charged at the thugs, Naruto killing as many as he could with his blades. Zabuza ran at Gatu, killing nobody, but getting stabbed in the back as he charged the tyrant. As he got to him, he called out to the businessman, "Gatu. You and I will be going to hell together." He cut Gatu down the middle and the man fell into the sea below. Zabuza fell to his knees, finally feeling the effects of the wounds he got from the swords and spears. Naruto caught the missing nin and laid him down next to Haku. "Naruto," said Zabuza, "you're one though Gaki. I leave you my sword, put good use to it," he finished as he breathed his last breath. The demon of the mist was no more. "He left me his sword," said Naruto, picking up the blade. Kakashi smiled, "I guess you impressed him enough for that." Naruto sealed away the sword in a scroll, not knowing what to do with it for the time being. It was then Naruto started feeling the fatigue of his battle with the Kirinin and Haku, Kakashi Niasen. "I'm gonna take a nap." 1 week later. "Please don't go," said a crying Inari. "Oi oi oi, I told you I'd visit sometime, don't worry," said a chuckling Naruto. "Okay. I think we'll be off," said Kakashi, wanting to get back to reading his Icha. With that Team 7 was off. "So, Oda-san, what's the bridge's name?" asked Tsunami. Azuna smiled at the retreating Redeed's back, "I think we'll call it the Great Naruto Bridge." Team 7 had been traveling at shinobi speed for half a day and were almost back at the village. Naruto was still trying to figure out what to do with the Kubikirabacho. "Hey, Kakashi Niasen, do you know anything about Zabuza's sword? Like any special powers or something like that?" asked Naruto. "Any powers? Well, I'm pretty sure that when it is chipped or even broken, it just needs a small amount of blood to regrow. It uses the iron in the blood to reform itself," replied Kakashi. Naruto's eyes widened, "I have an idea. But you might need to carry me for a bit," he said, and Kakashi nodded as the group jumped to the ground and walked. Naruto went into his mindscape to talk to the fox. "I already know what you will be trying, kid. I believe it will work, but you need to seal it somewhere in the seal. It needs to have full access to your chakra just like I do." "That's how it will work," said Kurama. "And so when I take out a bone I can use my blood to reform the sword. You think I can use two at once?" The Uzumaki wondered. "I don't see why not," the fox said. "Alright," said the ecstatic Redeed. Naruto began to create a blood storage seal inside of the Atrigram seal. Once he was done he placed the Kubikirabacho on the storage seal and with a swipe of his blood he sealed the sword in himself. He immediately felt the repercussions of sealing it and he started to feel nauseous and shaky. Outside the seal Kakashi felt Naruto start to shake. It lasted for another minute and Kakashi began to worry, but it disappeared as suddenly as it came. He felt Naruto wake up and stopped. "You okay, Ataudo?" Kakashi asked his little brother. "Yeah, but I'm exhausted," Naruto said. I'll carry you the rest of the way, Kakashi said. Konoha. Team 7 with a sleeping Naruto arrived at Konoha half a day later. When they got there they were met with the eternal gate guards, Izumo and Kotetsu. Hey, Kakashi just got back from that air rank, huh? Asked Kotetsu. Kakashi I smiled and nodded, sign in Naruto for me will you? He asked. Alright, is the kid alright? Asked Izumo. Kakashi frowned at the question, you know him? I mean on a personal level. Sure do. Haruka introduced us to the kid one day. Anyway, what happened? Kotetsu replied. He's just exhausted, he probably did more on the mission than me, Kakashi said, rubbing the back of his neck. Kotetsu and Izumo just sweat dropped, okay. We'll just get to Hokage-sama's office. Hokage's office. The old Hokage looked up as he saw Team 7 with a sleeping Naruto. He raised his eyebrow, what's happened with Naruto-kun? Kakashi sighed, he's just exhausted from the mission, Hokage-sama, he had to fight and defeat a Jonin-level ninja, he said. Sakura and Sasuke's eyes widened, the dope defeated that guy. I thought it was you. Questioned the angry Uchiha. Calm down Sasuke, we're in the Hokage's office, Kakashi said, trying to calm him. Sasuke quieted down but glared at the floor. Kakashi felt Naruto shift on his back and looked behind him, good morning, he said cheerily. Yeah. I needed that sleep, said Naruto. He then realized where he was and bowed to Hokage, hey Jiji, he said smiling. The old Hokage smiled back. Kakashi, I want a full report by tomorrow, the rest of you are free to go, said the Sandaime. Sasuke, Sakura and Sai left, leaving Sarutobi, Kakashi and Naruto. Is there something you need for Naruto-kun? Asked the Hokage. There's something I need to tell you, Naruto said, as he faced Kakashi, it's about Kubikirabacho. Kakashi nodded, I presume you found a way to use it? Naruto nodded as he took 2 bloody bones out from his shoulder. Hiruzen raised his eyebrow, we know of your bloodline Naruto, what are you getting at? Keep watching Jiji, Naruto said with a foxy grin. Naruto activated his Kitsuryugen and controlled the blood. It crawled down the bones and on each bone formed a full-sized Kubikirabacho. Kakashi and Hiruzen's eyes widened, Naruto, how? Asked Kakashi. Naruto stuck both bone butcher knives into the floor and stood on the top of the bone. Well, the Kubikirabacho uses blood to reform, so I just sealed it inside me, giving it access to my chakra, and since I can control my blood, I just reformed it, I guess. It was really just a working theory, so I don't know how to really explain it, he explained the redeed. Well, however you did it, it was ingenious Naruto-kun, said Sarutobi, now if you could excuse yourself, I need to talk to Kakashi about an upcoming event. 1 week later. Naruto had just finished training and was ready for a nice 20 bowls of Ichiraku ramen. He walked in and saw Tucci and Am washing dishes. Hey, Tucci Jiji, start me off with 5 bowls of shrimp ramen will you? He said grinning. Tucci turned around and smiled, sorry my boy. You'll have to wait a few minutes. We're still washing dishes and making more noodles from our last company, she seemed like a real wreck, he said sympathetically. Naruto frowned, how many bowls did she eat and who was she? Tucci laughed. Well it's kind of funny actually, she ate 42 bowls, he said, I believe it was the Hyuga girl you watch. Naruto's eyes widened, Hinata-chan ate 42 bowls. That's almost twice as much as me. Am laughed, I know, we didn't tell her anything, but she just kept on going, really slow but steady. Well, looks like that saying is true, Naruto muttered. Kurama chuckled she's the one kid, she loves ramen just as much as you and can eat more. Can you imagine what she can do to your Kage-bun Kurama? Naruto yelled, blushing furiously. However he couldn't stop but ponder on that thought, making him blush on the outside. Luckily the Ichirakus didn't catch it and he pushed away those thoughts before he had to use his Kitsuryugen to move his blood away from a certain part of his body. It had been 1 day since Naruto had tried to beat Hinata's unintentional record and he still had a stomachache. He had collapsed at 33 bowls and when Haruka came by looking for him, he had to take him back to his apartment. Naruto still sleeps and eats at his apartment. He uses the estate for training and other ninja shit. If you live in a mansion all by yourself, it'll get really lonely. Naruto woke up and immediately ran to the bathroom to throw up. He was walking down the street and past Ichiraku thinking about getting a bowl, but ultimately decided not to. He started to head to his parents' estate until an Anbu stopped him. Hokage-sama has summoned you, said the cat-masked ninja. Alright, oh and Yuga-nichan say hi to Hade Nai for me, said the still nauseous Uzumaki. Hokage's office. Naruto-kun, do you know why I summoned you? Asked the aging man. Could it have to do with that event that you were going to talk to Kakashi Niasen about? Asked Naruto. Correct, Naruto-kun, praised the Hokage, in a week's time the Chunin exams will be starting. Now, since you have no team it is up to you if you want to participate. Flashback. All the Jounin and some Chunin were gathered in the Hokage's office. Kakashi looked at the Hokage and asked, "Is it time already?" The Hokage nodded, "Indeed it is. The Chunin exams are in 1 week and I need to know who will be nominating their teams for the exams. Come up one by one." 4 Jounin stepped forward. "I, Hotaki Kakashi, leader of Team 7, nominate Haruno Sakura, Uchiha Sasuke, and Sai for the Chunin exams. I, Yuhi Kurenai, leader of Team 8, nominate Aburami Shino, Hyuga Hinata, and Inyazuka Kiba for the Chunin exams. I, Maido Gai, leader of Team 9, nominate Higurashi Tenten, Hyuga Niji, and Rock Lee for the Chunin exams. I, Sarutobi Asuma, leader of Team 10, nominate Akamichi Choji, Nara Shikamaru, and Yamanaka Ino for the Chunin exams." The Hokage nodded. Kakashi however had more to say. "Hokage-sama, I believe you should consider asking Uzumaki Naruto for the Chunin exams." The room went quiet. Kakashi heard 3 whats. From Iruka, Anko, who threw a kunai at him, and Kurenai. Yugao fell out of her hiding spot, Izumo and Kitetsu's jaws hit the floor, Genma's senbon dropped, Height had a coughing fit, and Ibiki frowned. Kakashi caught all of these reactions and asked, "Do you all know him personally?" They all nodded. His eyebrows raised. "Who started it?" Iruka spoke up, introduced him to Kitetsu, Izumo, and Anko. Kitetsu and Izumo introduced him to Genma. Anko introduced him to Ibiki, Kurenai, and Yugao. Yugao introduced him to Height. "Well, that answers that question," said Kakashi. "Kakashi, why do you think Naruto is ready?" asked Sarutobi. "Well, for one, who was outrunning Anbu, able to hide from Anbu, and playing pranks and not getting seen until he pulled it at the age of 10. Pointed out Kakashi. "Not only that but on our A-rank mission, Naruto was able to defeat a Jounin level ninja and stop Zabuza's sword with his own strength. He was also able to be acknowledged enough by Zabuza to be gifted his sword by Zabuza himself." The ninja and the room eyes widened. They didn't realize the significance of Naruto outrunning Anbu. And they definitely didn't know that Naruto defeated a Jounin level ninja. This made them rethink him. The Hokage thought about it. "Very well, I will ask Uzumaki Naruto about registering for the exams." Flashback end. "Kakashi said that, huh?" said Naruto. "It is true though," he added. The Hokage looked at him with great seriousness. "The decision is up to you, Naruto-kun." Naruto looked at Sarutobi with determination in his eyes. "Hokage-sama, I wish to participate in the Chunin exams." The Hokage smiled and gave Naruto a piece of paper. "Fill out this form and be at the academy in 1 week's time." 6 days later. Naruto had just gotten done with a measly 2 bowls of ramen. His stomach was still cramped from the amount he ate nearly a week ago. It was then he noticed what was following, Konohamaru. "Rocks don't have eyes, and they aren't square," he said. He heard an poof and 3 coughs. "Uden, you used too much gunpowder," said Konohamaru. "Sorry Konohamaru," said a sick-sounding voice. When the smoke cleared, Naruto saw Konohamaru with 2 other kids. The first kid was male, had a gray sweater, glasses, brown hair, shorts, and snot coming out of his nose. The second was female. She had orange hair with 2 buns, a pink undershirt, red tank top, tan shorts, and a permanent blush. "What are you doing, Konohamaru, Uden, Mogi?" asked Irited. "You said you'd play ninja with us," said Konohamaru. "Did I? I don't remember," said Naruto sarcastically. "Please boss," said the 3 kids. "Alright, you get 30 seconds to hide," said the smirking Naruto. Naruto closed his eyes as he heard the kids run away. Once he finished counting to 30 he ran the way he heard them run. After about a good 10 seconds of looking he heard a scream. He ran towards an alley where the scream came from. What he saw enraged him. He saw a boy in a black catsuit with purple markings on his face and a pack on his back holding up a girl with brown hair and a black shirt and pants. Next to him was a blonde girl with 4 braids, a white blouse with a red sash. She wore a fishnet underclothes and her headband around her neck. "Put her down," Naruto demanded, stepping in front of the Konohamaru core who had heard the scream and came as well. "Get out of here, kid, she needs to learn some manners," said the boy. He suddenly froze as he felt a massive amount coming at him, reminding him of unpleasant memories. Naruto felt the killing intent and turned his head slowly. What he saw both terrified him and made him happy. He saw Hinata with a purple aura and a killing intent that would make Kurama proud. "Let her go," said the calm but irate girl. "I'm never making her mad," thought Naruto. Hinata walked past Naruto and took out a kunai knife. The boy and girl watched Hinata as she came closer and they started to tense. She walked in front of the boy and touched his arm that he was holding the girl up. His eyes widened and he screamed. "Iurg. You bitch. What did you do to my arm?" he yelled. Hinata just picked up the girl. "Come Hanabi, we need to get you home," she said to the younger girl. Her aura was still dark and she walked past Naruto who was still shocked. He snapped out of it and gave her a nod. The cat-dressed boy reached for the pack on his back with his good arm. "I wouldn't start a fight," said Naruto. "Your friend isn't very happy," he said, pointing to a tree. As he said this, a boy with red hair, green eyes, and the kanji for love on his forehead appeared. He sunshined down with sand from a gourd on his back. The red-haired boy released a large amount of killing intent. Naruto released a larger amount, dwarfing the sand boy. "Let me guess, you are here for the Chunin exams?" asked Naruto. The sand nin nodded. "What is your name?" asked the sand nin. "Uzumaki Naruto, what are your names?" asked Naruto. "Sabaku no Gaara, my sister is Temari and my brother is Kankuro," said Gaara. "Uzumaki Naruto, I will prove my existence." Naruto frowned, okay. See you tomorrow." Naruto left with the Konohamaru Corps. The next day Naruto woke up early to get to the academy. He decided that it would be better to get there before all the other teams, so he wouldn't be a part of the crowd. He got to the academy 8:30. 2 other teams got there with him. A team from Kumo and a team from AIM. As Naruto walked up to the second floor, he saw the team from AIM trying to get into 305 and past 2 genin, who looked a lot like 2 gate guards he knew. He laughed to himself as he walked on the ceiling to the real 305. When he got there he saw Iruka waiting for him. "Naruto, you decided to take it, huh?" the scarred Chunin asked. "Yep, I think I might stand a chance, I just have to use my brains," said the retard. "Alright, just give me your form and you can get in," Iruka said as Naruto passed him his form. Naruto walked into 305 and saw the Kumo team in a corner. There were 2 girls and 1 guy. The guy had white hair, dark skin, a hoodie, black pants, a katana, and a lollipop. The girl had long red hair, her headband and a bandana, a grey dress, and tall ninja boots. The last girl had a black shirt with clouds, grey pants, long blonde hair, and bandages around her arms. Naruto got a weird feeling about the last girl, but put it off for the time being. He just made sure to keep an eye on them for Hinata. Naruto went to the nearest desk and laid down on it and laid his head on his hands. He decided to talk to Kurama for the time being until one of his friends got there. Mindscape. "Hey Kurama, did you get a weird feeling about the blonde girl?" "Yeah kid, I've felt that chakra somewhere, but it's probably been over 200 years since I've seen her," said the Kyubi. "Her?" Naruto asked. "Matatabi, the Nibi. Last I heard she was in Kumo's possession, so that's most likely her," Kurama stated. "Okay, so what do we do about it?" asked the Uzumaki. "You go ahead with the Chunin exams. I'll try and open a channel between us, Biju. From what I sensed yesterday, that Gaara is the Jinchuriki of Shukaku, you'll have to watch him closely," said Kurama. "Alright Kurama, thanks for the info," Naruto said. Outside Mindscape. "Naruto, yo Naruto," said a lazy voice. Naruto opened his eyes and saw Shikamaru standing over him. "Yeah?" he asked. "How long have you been here?" asked Shikamaru. 8:30, Naruto responded. "Lucky bastard," Shikamaru muttered. "You just want to be in bed right now, don't you?" Naruto asked, smirking. "As troublesome as this thing is, I'd rather be here than having to hear Ino's yelling," Shikamaru replied with the same smirk. "Hey, dope, this thing is for teams only," said a scowling Sasuke. "Team, if you don't remember, I'm my own team and have a team number, so I can be here right now," said Naruto glaring at the uchiha. He looked behind Sasuke and saw the rest of Team 7, the rest of Team 10, and Team 8. He saw Kiba making advances on Hinata and decided to do something about it. "Hey, Hinata-chan. Shino. What's up?" he half asked and half yelled into Kiba's ear. This causes the Inuzuka to back up in pain and disorient him. "I am doing well, Naruto-san. Kiba has been a pain, but we have done well on missions thanks to Kurenai-sensei," said Shino. "I am okay, Naruto-kun. I am still trying to get used to the seal but it's to Tingbutter," Hinata said smiling gently at her crush. Naruto was about to respond when a leaf nin with grey hair and glasses came up to the rookies. "You guys should really keep it down. Everybody's already tense enough as it is," he informed them. "And you are?" asked Ino. "Ikushi Kabuto." "Alright, and is that all?" asked Naruto. "Kid, something's not right. This guy reeks of snake," said Kurama. "I know," Naruto thought. "Well, since you guys are only rookies, I'll help you out," he said as he pulled out cards. "These are my ninja info cards, they can tell you anything about anyone in this room." "Give me info on Rock Lee," said Sasuke. "You already know his name, that's no fun," Kabuto pouted. "Rock Lee, he is a genin of Konoha and a year older than you guys. His sensei is Mito Guy and his teammates are Hyuga Niji and Higurashi Tenten. He has high skill in Taijutsu, he has no skill in ninjutsu or Genjutsu." Sasuke frowned, how could that guy have beat him? He was an elite. "I know almost everyone's strengths and weaknesses because of these cards. The ninja over there are from Itagaker. It's a fairly new village so they could only send one team, he said, pointing to a team with music note forehead protections. He thinks he can talk bad about our village, does he? Said one Odonin with a hunched back, bandages covering his face, and a gauntlet on his right arm. Well, we'll just show him he's the best, he said as he and his teammates rushed to Kabuto. Kabuto-san. Look out. Yelled Ino. The gauntlet-wearing ninja punched at Kabuto, who dodged it at the last second. However, a few seconds later, Kabuto's glasses broke and he started to throw up blood. Before anyone could do anything, a giant cloud of smoke appeared in the middle of the room. Enough. All of you sit down now. Yelled a giant man with a scarred face. Naruto smirked. Hey, Ibiki-chan, he said in a sing-song voice. Ibiki's eye twitched and he growled, Naruto. Just go sit down. As Naruto sat down, he heard an eep to his right. He looked towards the sound and saw Hinata looking down at the table with a blush on her face. Hey, Hinata, said Naruto. Hello, Naruto-kun, she replied. Well, okay, he said with a thumbs up and a smile. This just caused the shy girl to blush even more. Oh, okay, you do well too, she said with a smile with her eyes closed. If she hadn't had her eyes closed, she would have seen the small blush that crept onto Naruto's face. Alright, said Ibiki, you are going to be taking a written test. You have 10 points, and there are 10 questions. Every time you are caught cheating, you will have 2 points taken away. You have 45 minutes. As he got his test, Naruto's eyes narrowed. What the hell is this? How am I supposed to know this? Sucks for you, kid, said Kurama. You're no help, thought the annoyed boy. He looked over to Hinata and saw that she had her head down and her Byakugan active. So, we're supposed to cheat to get the answers, huh? Naruto asked himself. You should ask that vixen of yours for the answers, I'm sure she'll give them to you, said the fox. I'm not using her like that, thought the retard. Well, you have to think of something, responded Kurama. Ibiki looked over the genin until his eyes landed on Naruto. He was zoned out, probably thinking of a plan. Let's see what you come up with, brat. I got it, Naruto thought. Naruto put his hands under the table in a tiger hand sign. A strong wind came from an open window and blew many tests in the air. Naruto activated his wind armor and grabbed a full test before anyone could see him. He replaced the name and put the test back on the table and rested until the test was over. 35 minutes later. Alright, it is time for the 10th question, announced Ibiki. If you want to leave now, do it. Your team will be leaving with you. Why would we want to do that? Asked Kiba. Because, if you answer the question wrong, you can never take the exams again, Ibiki said. What? Exclaimed Temari. That's not fair, there are people who have taken it multiple times here right now, growled Kiba. That's too bad, this is my first year as proctor. So will you be taking the question or not? He said with a sinister grin. The person to Naruto's left got up and left the room with his teammates in tow. Over 10 teams had left and Naruto had fallen asleep. Ibiki saw this and went up to the Uzumaki. He hit him upside the head. Ow, 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 ow. The hell was that for? Asked the angered retard. You fell asleep, growled Ibiki. Well, it's obvious I'm not answering the question. I wouldn't deny a mission just cause I didn't like it, would I? No. That's the point of the question. To see if you have the guts to become a chunin, explained Naruto. Everyone in the room was surprised at Naruto's answer. This strengthened everyone's resolve, especially a blue-haired girl's, and they decided to take the question. Ibiki smiled and said, good, then you all, but before he could finish a figure crashed through the window. Pass. Yelled an eccentric voice. Oh god, said Naruto as he slumped into his seat. Anko looked around the room and saw the amount of teams. I am Mitarashi Anko, the sexiest kunoichi in Konoha, said Anko. Ha! Laughed Naruto. Anko marched over to Naruto and grabbed his ear. What was that? She yelled. Ow, 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 ow. It's my opinion. I have a type, you know. Yelled the Uzumaki as Anko's grip got tighter. Oh, and you know, I know who it is. So it's either me or I spill your little secret, Anko said sadistically, glancing over to Hinata for a split second so that only Naruto could see it. Naruto was sweating and his eyes widened. Okay. You're right, I'm wrong, my opinion doesn't matter. He yelled, now let me fucking go. Nope. Alright maggots. The second round will be taking place at Training Ground 44. Said Anko as she jumped out the window with a teary-eyed Naruto clinging onto dear life so his ear wouldn't be ripped off. As the teams left the building towards Training Ground 44, a lot of girls were wondering who the mysterious girl that Naruto liked was, especially a blonde gossip queen and a Hokage girl. The end. So how was this part? I hope you like it. And if you like it, share this part with your friends and like the video too. And don't forget to subscribe our channel for daily awesome fanfiction. Okay, it's time for me to go. Bye bye.